Alright, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing this LS460. So last time I did the LS430 review, so I figured it'd be fitting to take a look at the next generation, which is the 460, to see if there's been, a lot of improvements. As you guys can see, the styling has totally changed on this car. Everything has been redesigned. The inside, it's got a new engine. It's got a 4.6 liter V8, made it to an 8-speed automatic trans. Nothing with this car is the same as the 430, but it does have a lot of the same features. As you can see, the doors, they are soft closed doors. It does have Navi, it does have the backup camera. It's got all those things. So let's see if this model is worth buying over the previous generation 430. All right, I apologize for this camera angle, but my buddy who I sold this car to, he just cleaned the car inside, and unfortunately the dash is all, you put the conditioner on the dash, so my double-sided tape does not stick to the dash at all. So let's pull out. So believe it or not, this car has 352,000 miles. And obviously for the mileage, it's in fantastic condition. So the main purpose of this video is I want to see how this car compares to the 430. Right off the bat, it carries over the same smoothness that the 430 has. It's extremely smooth ride. It's a very floaty feeling, just like the 430. There is a lot of body roll and stuff like that you expect in a big boat. The seats, just as comfortable. Big difference with this car is the power. It's got a big power jump over the 430s, and the transmission is an 8-speed. So the fuel economy is a little bit better, and it's got more power. The driving characteristics are very similar. It's been a month or two since I've driven the 430, so it's hard to give a direct comparison. And I literally just drove my ISF, so it's totally different hopping into this. The steering is similar. I believe it's soft. Like I said, it's very floaty. It's very numb, which is what you want in a high-end, big body luxury car. You don't want a stiff steering or anything like that. Overall, I think this car is a great car, just like the 430. These 460s are obviously slowly coming down in price. This one being a 350,000 mile sample, it's obviously going to be the cheapest one out there. But it is relatively good shape, and it has been dealer maintained most of its life. The interior on the car, these generation 460s had the problems with the door panels and the dash getting sticky and bubbling. So this one has had that replaced. So it might look better because it's relatively new than you would expect for 350,000 miles, but the seats and all that stuff are all original, so it definitely is holding up very nicely. Just goes to prove that the cars that Lexus builds and Toyota and all them, they overbuild them, over-engineer them, and they last forever, which is why they maintain their values. A lot of guys, they'll see like the trucks, the Toyota Tundras and the GXs and the LXs, 200,000-300,000 miles, and people still pay big money for them. And for your average person, they think that's crazy. They don't understand why. Well, this is the reason why. These cars run and drive just like they came off the showroom floor. I mean, this car drives phenomenal. Super quiet, it tracks straight, doesn't have any issues, so it's definitely worth it. Now, as I said, these things are still worth more money than the 430s are, which is expected because they're newer, and they're kind of more of a car than the 430 is, just based on features and power and all that. But is it worth it? So in my eyes, I've owned a bunch of 430s, and this is the first 460 I owned. I still prefer the 05, 04, 05, and 06 430s. Now, the seats in this one are smoother. They're softer. They remind me of the 01, 02, 03 seats, which is a good thing, because the 430 seats, the leather got a little stiffer, so it's not as cushiony as these are. But the main reason is the longevity of the cars. Now, I looked at the history on this car. It's a one-owner history, but I also looked at the dealer maintenance history, and there's been a lot of maintenance on this car. They've replaced the control arms numerous times. The bushings always go bad on these. You know, the high pressure fuel pump, I believe, that goes into the valve cover on these cars is slowly leaking. They're just not as simple of a car as the 430 was. They both do everything great. They drive great. They last. This guy's going slow. You know, they do their luxury car duties perfect. They get decent gas mileage and everything you could want. You know, and I said the 430 is pretty much the best everyday car you could buy. And this is not much worse, but in long-term ownership, this is definitely more expensive of a car to own. If you told me you wanted a modern car with fancy features, I would say, yeah, buy this one. But if you're going to hold a car for forever, for your life, for whatever, definitely buy a 430 over this, because in the long run, it's going to be way cheaper than one of these. But besides that, I mean, this car is phenomenal. It's holding up great. It's quiet. You know, it does everything you need a car to do, A to B. And this thing has 350,000 miles, which is hard to believe. So this is my take on a 460. You know, it's not a performance car. It's nothing. You know, it can move. It definitely moves when you need it to, but it's a great big body luxury car. The styling on it, I think it went down a little bit from the 430, and the reason I say that is the 04 to 06 430s, they look really nice. They look sharp, and they're kind of timeless. This car, while I like the styling they did, all the curves and all that stuff, it looks good, don't get me wrong. However, it kind of blends with other cars. It almost looks like a Camry, like an 08, 09 Camry of the same generation. I understand it's, you know, Toyota, Lexus, same thing. But the 460 stood out more. To me, this kind of blends in more. The driving experience is there. The reliability clearly is there, 350,000. The styling and the maintenance of this car is a little turnoff for me. But again, it is a great car. Drive them, see which one suits you better. If you need, you know, the modern features, Apple CarPlay and all that stuff, you could probably either buy the newer one of these, which is a lot more money, or you could buy a 430 and put a head unit in that supports Apple CarPlay. But this does have heated, cool seats, Navi, the headlights that swivel, you know, the soft closing doors, the rear shade, all of that good stuff. So yeah, that's the car. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you liked my take on the LS460.